Hello my friends, finally we got the information about the possible new massive Russian attack on Ukraine. The direction, as you can see, is on Donbass mostly and also in Zaporizhia region. They already formed the new tactical battle groups from the mobilized soldiers together with experienced soldiers and put them mostly, as you can see, in Zaporizhia and also in Donbass. So here, if I'll just click on reviewing the Russian forces, you can spot those army locations, and we have all the information about their resources since they accumulated them. And in 21st century, it's impossible to hide your troops since there are lots of the spy satellites and drones. So you can see they have lots of the forces, and they'll try to get Liman under their control again and possibly gonna move to Slavyansk and Kramatorsk over here. I guess here they will try to attack from two directions, to Kramatorsk from this side and to Kramatorsk from the Bakhmut direction if they successfully take the Bakhmut. In Donetsk they will try to push again with more forces, nothing unusual over there, and for Zaporizhia they will try to get closer to the city, and basically they need Vuhledar and they need Orikhiv. For now they try to advance all across the front lines, guessing the direction of their possible attack, so they're finding the weakest spot in Ukrainian defense. Experts say that offensive action may happen very soon in February. About the possible assault on Kiev, I don't think it's real. Russia is in lack of the forces to get this very big city under their control. They need to concentrate all of their army trying to do it, and still the success is not guaranteed. So I think the attack on the Kiev is quite unreal for the nearby future, and their dream is to encircle the Ukrainian army on the east and cause us surrender. But no, I expect that Ukraine little by little will start to lose the ground in case of the Russian offensive, but it will not happen as it was 1 year ago. We're gonna retreat step by step, creating the new defense lines, and every day Russia would face the new and new resistance, and that will cause them severe losses. And that is why, according to our intelligence, Putin is ready to mobilize more men to the Russian army. Based on the previous mobilization, you may see that they needed around 3 months to prepare their soldiers, and also partially they throw them without any preparations, just to cover their losses that they have right now, for example in Bakhmut. I've told you in my previous video that the situation in Bakhmut is very critical. Krasna Hora is claimed to be taken by the Russian forces, but according to this map, it's still under Ukrainian control and the fighting is ongoing. But day by day, Russia is getting closer to this road, which is very important. Let's go to the timeline to see the movement for the last 24 hours. Yes, they moved to the city, they were there, and now they're in the residential area, unfortunately, and from what I see, they may take this part of the city. And looking at the north, I can see that Russia moved quite a lot from Blahodatna village. They recently took it, and now they're heading towards this road over here to get access further to Slavyansk. Still, they're far away from those cities. However, Ukraine already announced the massive evacuation of civilians from those cities and towns, and here I don't see any movement of Russian forces towards Ivanovsk or Chasiv Yar. That is great. The last night and day were terrible for Turkey and Syria. My condolences for the people of those two countries, especially for those who lost their loved ones in that earthquake. The earthquake was really horrific, very hard, 7.5 and 7.8. 2 earthquakes were recorded in Turkish territory. You may find lots of the terrible videos in internet, then the buildings collapse, people are screaming. I'll not post those here. The main thing that people are united in Turkey and in Syria. There are lots of the donors who would like to give their blood for those who were injured because of the debris. Search and rescue operation continues, but for now there are not enough search and rescue teams, so civilians take part in the rescue operation too. The bad thing that now it's the winter time and it's quite cold in Turkey as well, especially during the night time. And this is the tweet from one of the geoscientists. He's from Netherlands. His name is Frank Hoger-Betts, and he predicted the earthquake on 3rd of February 2023. However, he haven't said when it will happen, but he said it will be at least 7.5 magnitude. That is what happened. Comparing some of the footages from the Japan earthquake that was 9.1 in 2011 with this one, I see lots of the skyscrapers and they were shaking, but still they were more or less secured. I think that Japan had built those big buildings calculating the possible outcomes of the earthquakes. Yet Japan has the capability to invest in that. Speaking about the Turkey, most of the buildings that collapsed were quite old. And if you check, you might see that in this hotspot in Turkey, the taller buildings survived, but the smaller ones collapsed because they're not calculated to withstand this 7.8 or 7.5 magnitude. Yeah, it's a big tragedy for Turkey and Syria, and it's been reported that more than 2,000 people lost their lives in their homes. The first earthquake was during the night time, so most of the people were at home, unfortunately. Alright, back to Ukraine, or it's better to say to United States of America, where they sent more help to my country. Basically, for now, those are Bradleys, and they load them again to the ferry to go to Europe first and then to Ukraine. That's awesome help. Thank you guys. Finally, after 1 year of war, the Ukrainian parliament canceled the taxes for the drones and thermal cameras and other stuff that our soldiers need as fast as possible. So those extra funds, obviously not good for our soldiers, not especially the funds, but the time that it takes to pay the taxes and all of those customs fees. Now I hope it will increase the supplies for the Ukrainian army. Yes, here we are not speaking about those big drones like United States Reapers or Bayraktars that will be officially delivered to Ukraine. Here we speak about the individual help from other guys who support the Ukrainian army. The leader of the Wagner group, Prigozhin, was flying the Sukhoi Su-24 tactical bomber today. He said that tomorrow he'll fly MiG-29, and he tells to Vladimir Zelensky to fight in the skies, some sort of the dogfight. He says who wins takes Bakhmut in that case. Interesting proposal. In that case, Zelensky should fight with Putin, and not on a fighter jet, but just classic fight, and I think Zelensky wins in that case. During the last 2 months, Prigozhin mostly shows that he's in PR more than in controlling his own soldiers. There are different people who are controlling the advancement of the Russian Wagner group, and I think it's the Russian army. Yes, before I say that they had some sort of the conflict, but after Soledar was taken and the victory was stolen from the Wagner group, Prigozhin went to Kremlin, he met with Putin and Shoigu, and after that he went totally to PR. That is how I can see it. I could be wrong.